Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, thank you for the opportunity to speak for you this evening. Have you seen the royal baby? Gotta see the baby. Have you seen the baby?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's seen the baby by now, I hope. No? You haven't seen the baby? Well, they had a baby. In England, big royal baby. Outside of the hospital, there were hundreds, if not thousands of people, just vast amounts of people, waiting for a glimpse of the baby. People with telescopic lenses, waiting to see a picture of the baby. I was sitting on my couch, saw this snippet of it on TV on the news. I thought to myself, can you imagine having that life? I mean, imagine the things afforded to you being the royal baby. The connections you would have, the people you would know. I mean, nobody's waiting outside my door to see me or even give me a paper, much less take photographs of me. And that got me thinking. I started thinking about advantages in life and made me think of these two guys I know. And I think there's something we can learn from their story about advantages one had and one didn't. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to their advantages. But these two guys I know growing up, they came from very different backgrounds. One had all the advantages, one really didn't. The one guy came from a broken home. His parents were divorced young. He was a child of a single parent. His mom made $11 an hour as a temp, working job after job and switching all over the place. They didn't have a lot of money, weren't afforded a lot of opportunities, not a lot of fancy friends and connections like the royal baby, nothing like that. The other guy, though, he was pretty well set up. He lived in a really nice neighborhood, very fancy area, big houses, all that. The kind of connections you can make that can really help you out in life, you know? Everybody in those big houses, fancy CEOs and executives, all the connections in life. Not quite royal baby connections, but pretty good. The one guy was kind of awkward, you know? He came from that lower income family, didn't know everybody. Socially, he wasn't that great. He couldn't go talk to anybody. He couldn't strike up conversations with anyone. He wasn't as outgoing as some people. He wasn't comfortable just talking to strangers. The guy with connections in the good town, he was very comfortable with his group of friends. He was a natural leader. He knew what was going on with his friends. He could walk around and feel confident in that circle, and he was always, well, in sports, he was picked first. You know, he was always on the team. He always made the team. One of the first guys picked. He was one of those guys. The other guy played the same sports, but he was clumsy. He'd fumble the ball, maybe drop the ball. I don't know if royal babies are good at sports by birthright, but I'm sure they get picked. They're at least on the team, right? Who's not going to pick a royal baby? Pick a royal baby on my team. In college, the guy from the broken home, he had to work his way through college, community college. Sometimes while he was in community college, he worked 3 separate jobs at the same time to put himself through community college, and then had to scrape his way into a university and get his degree that way, fight for every bit of it. The guy with all the advantages, he went to that great school in the town with the big houses, and he got himself a full ride scholarship. He had a scholarship to college and major university. He had all the advantages going into college. You know, he had prep classes in high school, and he had the AP courses in high school that would get you there. And he had classmates in high school that were equally intelligent from backgrounds where they were pushed to do good in school. Well, I'll tell you something about these two guys. These two guys are both me. My parents divorced in 1990 when I was younger. But luckily, when my parents divorced and my mom had this low-income job, we got to move in with my grandma, who lived in a really nice neighborhood. And while I was very comfortable in my social circle with my friends, I wasn't very good at outgoing when I was younger. I wasn't good at talking to different people and getting myself out there, certainly not making Toastmaster speeches. And while I was always picked for the sports teams and always made the team because I'm a very tall man and very large lineman in football, I was never good with the ball. I would drop the ball, or I wasn't very coordinated that way, but I made all the teams. And when I came to college, I did get myself a scholarship to college. I promptly partied it away. Just blew that scholarship. So I had to go back and work my way through college. I got myself a degree after working 3 jobs and putting myself through and getting a scholarship to get back into the university. Got my degree that way. So when I was thinking about the royal baby and all the things that baby had, a lot of us have advantages just like that, and maybe it's just a little bit of your perspective on whether you really, none of us have the royal baby's advantages, but if you look around and look at things in the right light, you're going to have some of the advantages. Mr. Toastmaster?